Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing great today. Okay, so my 2 cents on the Ibom Air saga. Right now, there's a massive outrage that is spreading like wildfire, and it's gone way beyond the shores of Nigeria. Okay, the reason people are outraged is not necessarily because of that video that leaked. We've been seeing too many videos, man. When I even came across that video online, I saw what was happening and I just scrolled past. I was like, Nigeria and drama. Because Nigeria to me is like a gigantic theater. Every time there's always one absurd drama or another showing up. So I just scrolled past it. The only time that I got really interested in this was when I came back online and saw that the same girl I just watched her story break had been remanded in prison, and the Kirikiri prison of all prisons, the same prison where some of the most hardened criminals are committed, is where you've sent this girl without us even having to hear her own side of the story, without us even having a balanced view of what happened so we can approach this from an informed position. No, that was too fast. Too fast. Given that just not long ago, we had a similar situation involving my brother Wasiu Ayinde Mashal Kwam 1. This is why people are visibly angry, justifiably outraged. It is about the double standards that is so loud it could deafen your ears. It's about the injustice. It's about the lawlessness and impunity in Nigeria. These are the things that frustrate and disillusion Nigerian youths. This is why there's so much transferred aggression everywhere in Nigeria. We know that we are the ground zero of impunity and lawlessness and nepotism and all the corruption you can think of and double standards. We should at least have pretended that we are not. By according this girl the same courtesy that we accorded my brother from one when his own situation went down. We should have at least hidden our misogyny, our sexism, our corruption, and our nepotism. We should have hidden it a little bit. What happened with my brother Kwam 1 was far more egregious than whatever Comfort may have done. Take it from me. If that thing happened in any other country, my brother Kwam 1 would have been in jail and will probably be there for a very long time to come. Go check, go look it up. That's, when that happened, the first thing that came to mind was, what if this was an Igbo man who did this? Can you imagine what the narrative would have been? You would have seen the journalistic prowess of Nigerian journalists at full display. You would have seen them come up with glowing renditions, glowing epistles on why this man or woman or whoever it is should be committed to jail for life. You would have heard narratives like terrorism, IPOB, all manner of stuff. In fact, could have been, the outrage would have been so instantaneous and widespread that even Igbos themselves would have immediately jumped in and begun to even call for the head of their own brother. But Brother Palm 1 just got a slap on the wrist. A ban here and a ban there. And of course, an apology that was accepted. That was even posted by a government official, my sister Abike Dabira, who wrote over that apology that to err is human. People are now asking, where is that to err is human being applied to Comfort? She is a citizen of Nigeria, just like Kwam 1. Why would to err be human for Kwam, but not for Comfort? This is where the pain is coming. We haven't even heard her side of the story. When that story broke, like so many other people who saw it, it was just where Comfort was assaulting the airline hostess that I saw, where they then pulled her down from the plane, exposing her upper body, her breasts hanging out. And then she became unruly. This was the only side that we saw. And let me tell you the gospel truth. If this was happening in America, Comfort would become a multi-millionaire overnight because she would sue the living daylight out of everybody involved in this, including the airline, so badly that most of them will become bankrupt in a flash. No matter what she may have done, for the way they expose her body to the public and the video is out there, they would have been so sued that they will go bankrupt. Ask anybody if you think I'm joking. This is how America functions. Look, she hasn't even been given the opportunity to tell her side of the story, let alone even think of pressing charges. And you've thrown her in prison so fast. When the video broke, we saw one side. Shortly after, we saw another side where Comfort was saying, the lady is stopping me, I'm trying to go down. But that shouldn't even be where the story started from. There must have been something that happened before that. Probably the lady, Comfort, was asked to turn off her phone so that the plane would land, and she refused to do that. Who knows whether the air hostess wanted to physically enforce that safety precaution. And maybe Comfort being a temperamental person, because she looks pretty much like a temperamental person, maybe she decided to assault the lady. And the lady decided, you know what? I am not letting you step down from this plane today. The authorities have to come and get you so you can explain why you laid a finger on me. Maybe that's what happened. But why didn't we hear from the Comfort girl? So we can have a broader view, a panoramic view of what really happened, and then approach this argument or discussion from an informed position. This is tantamount to bullying. It is slavery in a country where she is also a citizen. How do you do that? Nigeria? So should have pretended a little bit that we are not such a horribly misogynistic nation, a sexist nation where women don't mean anything, where people of a certain tribe must be treated in a different way and people of a certain tribe are treated in a different way. You have fed into that narrative now. That there are different laws for different people in Nigeria. In other words, nothing is changing, even under this regime. So the legacy of bigotry, of lawlessness, of impunity, of double standards that speak louder than loudspeakers are still continuing. Very unfortunate. Dear Minister of Aviation, I know you've had a lot to deal with lately, but if you want to know what is right to do at this time, it is to call on whoever is holding this girl to set her free. Give her the right to be a human being. Accord her her natural, inalienable human rights. Let her speak. Let her give her side of the story. You are innocent until proven guilty. Let that apply to her as well. Let the pardon that went from my brother Kwam Wan be given to Comfort. I was happy when Kwam Wan was pardoned. I will be glad if Comfort is heard. Let's know whether we are the one that should be pardoning her or whether we should be apologizing to her. That's how people live when you are not living in a jungle, when you're not living in an animal kingdom. That's how people live in a normal society that is not insane. God bless you.